And welcome everybody. Today we are proud to celebrate the launch of the digital magazine Mass Universidad, a project born from collective effort with the mission to strengthen critical thinking, disseminate academic work, and position the Universidad Tecnológica de Coahuila as a benchmark of quality and educational innovation. It is important to say that the magazine was presented in the morning, but we are also presenting the magazine in the afternoon. We have the honor to count us with the next authorities. Licenciado José Américo Fernández Torres, General Director of Social Communication and Institutional Image of the Government of the State of Coahuila. Master in Science, Marlene Medina Trejo, Academic Secretary. Dr. Jorge Ernesto de la Rosa García, Secretary of Linkage. Dr. Mayela García Andrade, General Director of the magazine Mass Universidad. Ms. Flor Villalba Silva, Editorial Coordinator. Master Sergio Alberto Guadarrama Cortés, University President and Founding Director of the magazine Mass Universidad. Next, I will share a brief profile of the person responsible for presenting this important publication. Licenciado José Américo Fernández Torres was born in Ciudad Victoria. He holds a degree in Spanish literature and a degree in computer system engineering from the Universidad Autónoma de Coahuila. In both of the university careers, he received the highest honor for outstanding academic performance, the Juan Antonio de la Fuente Medal. He also completed a master's degree in history at Universidad Iberoamericana and a diploma in political communication at the National Autonomous University of Mexico. For 30 years, he has served as an advisor on communication strategies and message construction for the last 8 governors of Coahuila. For 3 decades, he has worked as editor-in-chief, editor of over 100 books, and scriptwriter on audiovisual programs for the government of Coahuila, the Autonomous University of the state, and civil organizations. His academic work includes editing and managing the magazines Gaceta Universitaria, El Reporte and its literary, cinematographic, and scientific editions, Por Saltillo, as well as the Monografías Matemáticas collection. At the Universidad Autónoma de Coahuila, he has taught at the schools of philosophy and letters, communication and mathematics, and has been part of the research and graduate teams. Through the column Solo para Cinéfilos, he has contributed to numerous newspapers and magazines, delivered 150 lectures on cinema, art, and literature, being a passionate cultural journalist in local media and tireless promoter of cinematographic art of all areas. He was academic coordinator of the first seminar on Mexican cinema in national history in Saltillo, organized with instructor in the film diploma at Universidad Americana in Saltillo, Monclova, and script instructor in courses and seminars such as the Writers' Schools at Librería Carlos Monsiváis. A big applause. I now give the microphone to Licenciado José Américo Fernández Torres, who will share the vision, structure, and scope of this first edition of the digital magazine Mass Universidad.
Muy buenas tardes, tengan todos ustedes. Me da mucho gusto, es un honor acompañarlos en la presentación de esta revista de la UTC. El ciclo universitario
Today, we witness yet another of its successes. The ability of a university to publish a magazine reflects the vitality of its academic community, its intense academic work, and the fulfillment of its purposes. In a special way, it is proof that its work based on institutional project and most importantly that embraces a clear university concept. On the arrival of the first missionaries of the territory of the New Spain, colleges, seminaries, and two universities emerged, those of Michoacan and Mexico. At the time, the church held the knowledge and the country of education. Three of our country's great universities originated in the colonial times: the National University of Mexico, the University of Guadalajara, and the University of Michoacan, which is clearly known as Universidad Tecnológica. Since the creation of the National University of Mexico in 1910, the concept of university has passed throughout very different models, from European scholasticism, post-Romantic humanism, the 19th century positivism, and also revolutionary movements, social activism, reductionist, and scientism, to basic technological training in service of production means. The radical extreme position was the 1968 student movement, which permitted all public universities and led to a frontal clash between students and the federal executive power, operated vertically by the far right. Although this movement had a tragic and regrettable consequences, it became a turning point in the transformation of higher education institutions in our country, which have since tried to maintain a balance between competitive and cognitive strengths, technological capabilities, and social commitment to the environment. A precursor to the 1968 movement was the implementation of the liberation theory by Brazilian Paulo Freire in the 1930s during the government of Garrido Canaval in Tabasco, based on an extremist secular education project. The public destruction of religious images and conversion of temples into public schools were common practices of an authorist policy, seeking to eliminate the church influence on Mexican society in the early 20th century. Although in 1933 the National University became the scene of struggles between groups that revived the opposition of the revolutionary factions in 1910. Also in 1965, the International Association of Universities defined the concept of autonomy, specifying as essential powers the selection of staffs, students, and the development of academic curriculum. Over the years, student leaderships were co-opted by the gradual but constant incorporation of aspirational models and success concepts assumed by the marked stratification of capitalism and materialism. Now, as we approach of the end of the first quarter of the 21st century, after dismantling the so-called neoliberal governments and facing the internal weakening of socialist or leftist political parties, public universities have faced a series of health, budgetary, and financial crises. The current challenge is to sustain the balance between the training highly competitive professionals who meet the demands of the productive sector while possessing a critical vision and professional ethics in the face of social transformation processes. Even institutions such as Tecnológico de Monterrey, which a deep entrepreneurial vocation, have sought renewal in fields traditionally reserved for public universities, such as philosophy, history, anthropology, and humanities. In this search for more solid higher education models and the attempt to establish a modern university concept, this technological university of Coahuila was born 30 years ago. The arrival of the Professor Guadarrama to the rectorship marked the beginning of a renewed institutional stage for the UTC, where sciences and humanities are complementary, not exclusive fields of knowledge. UTC has united community committed to educational excellence and the improvement of its programs and degrees. It has a first-class infrastructure and equipment that maintains productive links with companies in the Southeast region. UTC is fundamental pillar of the economic development and undisputed leadership Coahuila holds in the automotive industry. The publication of the Más Universidad magazine is further evidence that the rector or director, Sergio Guadarrama, has a well-defined institutional projects for the university and knows exactly where and how UTC should move forward. For those who were educated in the 60s and 70s, we are convinced that, in the pure dialectal sense, descend in the soul of the university. The magazine Más Universidad is proof that UTC reaches its 13th university as big stage, with a full capacity to engage in open and direct dialogue with various social actors and with other universities. The relevance and depth of the articles in the first issue reflects the academic dynamism achieved by UTC under directorship of Sergio Guadarrama. We begin with its cover itself, which is evidence reference to the deep kinetic vocation of the cave painting. This extraordinary hunting sequence painted inside a cave and also illuminated by the light of primitive bonfire in the wide, dark natural vault represents the foundation of the most prized invention of the 19th century, positivism, the cinematograph. The artists captivate us with the appears to be faithful descent of the past events. However, the painting presenting the hunt constitutes a ritual act that sums and imagines in its bringing to reality. The masterful opening quote from Albert Einstein challenges the reader. If you can't explain it simple, you don't understand it well enough, reflecting the essential objective of the publishing, the dissemination of science and democratization of the knowledge. Technological evolution over the time has been a long and unfinished journey between the possession of cognitive treasures by a privileged few and the creation of cutting-edge technological tools. We recall that it was the astronomer Carl Sagan who, 45 years ago, dared to show how it's possible to bring great topics of science, astronomy, and the origin of life to everyone. His cosmic calendar created to describe and understand the history of the universe. It's a cultural heritage of humanity on par with the world's wonders. The development of operations research and nuclear weapons during the World War II granted the United States with technological supremacy during the second half of the last century. However, bacteriological, space, commercial, and technological warfare have shifted the balance toward Asian countries.
Prosigo con la revista.
Continue with the magazine. The article, How to Generate Energy from Garbage, the Case of Biogas by Iztacoal Muñoz Jimenez, places us before one of Mexico's major challenges, the use and disposal of solid waste. Congratulations. The logistics as part of global success addresses the immense difficulties of today's mobility demands for people, goods, and service. Mathematics, telemetry, and pit wall mechatronics students to Path F1 is a thrilling, fast-paced article aligned with its subject matter. Fuel saving based on practices of world's best driver, Formula One racers. We sincerely hope that Arturo Aguirre, author of the article, operator, and student in the HL Mando UTC Dual program, fulfills his dream of becoming a Formula One performance engineer. Very congratulations to Arturo. In her article, Nutraceuticals, The Incredible Power of Plants and Foods, Dr. Mayela Garcia Andrade provides a sharp comparison between allopathic medicine and functional medicine, with a lyrical, narrative, and evocative style reminiscent of the 16th century chronicles of the Indies. Mayela Garcia shows the alchemy remains the ultimate science. Congratulations, Doctor. The article Nanotechnology Throughout the Times offers a theoretical approach to the origins, development, and advances of this technology, which throughout manipulation of matter and nanometric scale is transforming medicine, electronics, energy, and advanced materials, lightweight and resistant as well. Edgar Aguilar, a multifaceted professional, teacher, academic, columnist, and public servant, reflects on the dilemma graduates face to seek employment or create jobs. For those who resort to imagination, there are no limits or barriers to shorten the asymmetrical distance that seem to exist between the owners of production means and trained professionals. With these usually cheerful, optimistic, and hopeful expressions, Edgar confirms the entrepreneurship remains the best bet for professional career development. Cell phone addiction and its apps is one of the core topics of our education institution in training and teaching processes. The authors offer advice and strategies to select, filter, and organize the wide range of data, information, images, and virtual stimulation received by modern mobile devices. Gloria Luna manages to recap education and the evolving expectation driven by the need to transmit knowledge throughout different eras. Artificial intelligence and machine learning reflects our understanding of knowledge, language, and the human learning mechanism remains rising. Luna wisely places Mesopotamia and the cuneiform writing as the starting point of the modern concept of education, public instruction, and the preservation of the most valuable cultural and scientific legacy in today's digital interconnected world. Congratulations, Gloria, for your work. The article focuses on automotive part design using innovative models, glimpses the unlimited potential of 3D printing in the automotive industry, and also confirms the high level of specialization achieved by faculty and students from Universidad Tecnológica de Coahuila. It is also an honor and a source of pride that its first issue includes a contribution from mathematics specialists such as Fernando Gomez Garcia, which I cannot let mention, a member of family of brilliant mathematicians, architects, and teachers who have made story in public universities in Coahuila's educational system. This week, Fernando Gomez presented his first book, Algebra Linear with MATLAB for Engineers. And in this magazine, he offers a simple yet precise argument about the multiple application for linear algebra. Nevertheless, Fernando Gomez also demonstrated that integer arrays are of a divine order and underpin the creation of the universe itself. We deeply grateful him for the value gift of the variations of the magic square that the German artist averaged during included in his exceptional 1514 engraving Melancholia 1. Although implicitly suggested by Fernandez Gomez's article, I would add a humble yet sincere invitation to prolonged observation and deep meditation on those Jupiter magic squares in order to awaken unsuspected and hiding powers within Enos physic. Coahuila's greatest contribution to Mexico has been the ideas and consequently the contributions its pioneer education institution. Mas Universidad now joins the great editorial legacy of which were our state university and cultural center, among which I highlight. Number one, the research and graduate magazine of the Autonomous University of Coahuila, the publication of the Vitalicio Robles Cultural Center, and the magazine of Coahuila College of Historical Research. Professor Guadarrama, Master of Masters, as you know, I'm your friend. I have the honor of calling you wise guidance and leadership. UTC is living a stage of great social commitment and crucial phase for its future development. This magazine reflects the academic dynamism at the UTC, where ideas, knowledge, and projects are generated, and key questions are asked about university being and purpose. Professor Guadarrama, in addition to being an exemplary teacher, meticulous researcher, and generous mentor, is a true humanist, perhaps the last of great humanists, strengthening this institution with a concept and university project. To be at the forefront of scientific, technological, and academic development, to train highly competitive professionals who will then contribute to improve the life of our community, and with a critical profile capable of successfully overcoming the challenges of Southeast Mexico and global industry changes. Mas Universidad, in both digital and printed formats, now engages in an open dialogue with Coahuila, with Mexico, and with the world, honoring the noblest tradition of university scholars by making it available to society the scientific and technological knowledge developed by their students, faculty, and research. Recalling Professor Guadarrama's own teaching with the Más Universidad magazine, the cognitive treasures and most precious knowledge of UTC will travel freely and forever throughout the world via the unlimited digital network. Thank you very much and congratulations on his publication with UTC celebrates its first 30 years of successful and exemplary academic work.
Thank you to the creation of this magazine has been made possible thanks to the interdisciplinary work of a team committed to academic excellence. We recognize the first writers of the digital magazines. My Master in Science is Coat Muñoz Jiménez. Master Lilian Rocha Solís. Doctor Arisbet Ramírez Mendoza. Master Gloria Luna Alba. Mr. Jesús Alfonso Serrano Camacho. Doctor Antonia Cardona Castro. Doctora Mayela García Andrade. Master Edgar Aguilar Villarreal. Master Fernando Gómez García. Doctor Ruth Berenice del Carmen Rubio. And of course, we extend our sincere appreciation to Doctora Leticia Arisbet Ramírez. Master Gloria Luna Alba. Master in Science is Coat Muñoz Jiménez. And myself, Master in Science, Magdalena Cabello Sánchez. We also thanks in style editing, Master in Science, Rodolfo Flores Padilla. Miss Imelda Guadalupe Ibarra Lozano. In Design and Layout, Master in Science, Juan Eduardo Sánchez Guevara. Master Artunio Yáñez García. And Miss Daniela Benavente Ortiz. And of course, we extend editing Quintanilla. And now for all the effort, the General Director Mayela García Andrade. The editorial coordinator, Flor Villalba Silva. And of course, the founding director of the magazine, Master Sergio Guadarrama Cortés. Next, we give the microphone to the Master Sergio Alberto Guadarrama Cortés.
Breve, conciso.
Well, to be concise, we cannot talk about a magazine if you have participated in its creation. It can be created with knowledge, it was created with conviction, but not only with the idea, a clear idea, with what we have to offer. I think to the teacher, not bachelor, Jose Américo Fernández Torres, friend for many years, and who I've gathered for the last 35 years so far, 36. And for the last years, for the last 6.5 years, directly gathering every Saturday. The presentation which he makes about our magazine, it's very generous. I thank you a lot, Americo, because you do and make that absurd ideas that were combined by itself throughout the coming of every day. It was a hard work for more than a year to be able to make an idea and a central image. Every sample will have a special topic which we present today's the technology throughout the time is of that stubborn that you know in me that we should go to the roots and we go to the fundamentals that existed and created life of what we nowadays live. I'm not going to talk about the articles or topics, but I will tell the authors that participated in this, I thank you for your generosity. I know it hasn't been a simple job, simple work, but the intention was clear and concise, and their minds they are still resisting. But I do understand there's also fear of landing through the hates coming from the sky to talk with us as immortals. But a teacher and the institution like us have to be characterized, have to be defined, and have to count that we have to facilitate the knowledge for everybody to be accessible. As you said it before, it's catatonic, it's disrupted, and also reminds us that still we are in diapers. We are newborn. Look what is said by Albert Einstein, the great 20th century genius, the one that shared the relativity theory, the one that says energy is equal to mass square, the one who changed through his improvements the world. The world was never the same, and look what he said. If you can't explain it simple, then you don't understand it completely. My adventure is and will always be education.
Y la educación para
And
mí
the education for me,
es una forma
it's a way
de extraer de cada
to
una y
extract
cada uno
from
de
everyone
ustedes y
and
de los lectores
everybody and the
esa
lectures
información.
that I hope we have in the future,
Extraer de dentro de sí
extract from inside
esa parte
that
que
part
tiende a brotar como el buen
that tends
grande
to grow.
que, que decía yo tan solo quería vivir
That he
aquello que
said,
tendría a brotar de mí porque
I
había de
always
ser
wanted to
verdadero.
grow what grew in me.
No es imposible
It's not
que el
impossible that the
conocimiento lo
knowledge
podamos hacer asequible.
we can make it accessible.
Felicito
I congratulate
nuevamente
again
a los autores
the authors
porque bajaron
because they
el
landed
nivel
the level
en el cual
in which
solamente conversan entre unos cuantos
only they
y
conversate
como
between
Prometeo
some
robaron el
others,
fuego del
and like
conocimiento
Prometeo,
y lo
they stole the
trajeron
fire from the
y lo
knowledge
delegaron
and
a
they
nosotros.
brought it to us and they delegated it to
No
us.
puedo dejar de
I
resaltar
cannot
a
only
todas estas personas
relight
que
all
participaron
the other people
en
who
la corrección de
participated
estilo,
in the correction
los
of
que
style,
participaron
the
en ese
ones that
esfuerzo diario
participated in the
porque la
daily effort
presentación de la revista tuviera la
and for
vitalidad que
the
exige
presentation of the
una
magazine
universidad como la
had
UTC.
the relevancy and the importance
Fueron
that was
días
supposed to. There
tortuosos,
were
fueron
difficult
días
days.
difíciles, fueron
There were
días en los cuales
days
la
in which
desesperación y aún
the desperation,
hoy y
and
mañana
up to
pasado
now,
todavía
tomorrow,
existen resabios.
exists or
Pero
remain facts.
cuando vemos
But when we see
que hemos dado a luz
that we gave birth
a una revista,
to a magazine,
hemos
we
adquirido
have
la
acquired the
responsabilidad, como
responsibility,
dijera Shakespeare en
like
Hamlet,
Shakespeare
de
said
ser
in
el
Hamlet,
compendio de la historia.
to compose the
30 años
history.
son los que
30
estamos cumpliendo
years is what we
y
are
los próximos 30 años
being
recordarán
accomplishing. And the
que
next
todas
30
y
years,
todos
everybody will
el día de
remember
hoy
that all
pusimos
of us,
ese gran
we
granito
put
para
our
la
own
grandeza
grain
de esta
for the
universidad.
great
Celebro
contribution
el
and
esfuerzo de
greatership.
todas y de
I
todos
celebrate the
y
effort of
cada uno
everyone and
de los que
everybody,
participaron,
for those who
pero más
participated,
celebro
but I more
haber
celebrate a medical
que estén
that
presentes,
you are
que coincidan
here and
como
you
lo
are
hicimos desde
present
hace
like we
35,
have
36
done
años
done it for the
y que
last
sigamos
35 and 36,
pudiendo dialogar
and we
juntos
can
en una
continue
mesa
dialogue
como el día
in
de hoy.
together
Maestro,
like
le
today.
respeto, le
Teacher, I
admiro
have fully
y te
respect you.
agradezco la
I
generosidad de tus palabras.
grateful,
Buenas
I
tardes.
appreciate you, and thank you everybody, and have a great afternoon.
Next, the Dr. Mayela Garcia Andrade, the General Director of the magazine Mass University, will talk to us about how to access the magazine. Hi, it's a pleasure to me to present the magazine that we have talked about, that we have it in paper, printed. We have it in a traditional way, but also in a digital way. You can access to the web page revistamasuniversidad.masuniversidad.com, so you can have access to our magazine. This digital magazine has several sections. One of them has information in which you can access to the first number. We can have in our principal page the president of the university message. I invite you to read so you can find the objective and vision of this magazine. We can also count with an email where you can have access with the editorial team at utc.com.edu.mx. This is a magazine that is available for you. You can have it in your computer, in your social net. You can share this magazine with an easy access, and you can share it in all your nets. You can have it in WhatsApp or any social net. I invite you to read it. We have a QR code that sends us to the magazine, to the digital version. Well, I can show you the interaction with the web page so you can know the digital version that I want to appreciate to the design team that were involved in the design of the magazine. This is an exclusive web where you can display the numbers of the magazines. We have the message of the president, but we also have more sessions. Above, we have about us. It displays who is the magazines, who we are. You can read it, the objective of this work. We have a presentation. We have the objective target, that is the general population. We have the scientific, technological, mathematical, and philosophical object. We have information for the readers, for the authors who want to participate, writing some articles for this magazine. The writers of this magazine were teachers, professors of the Universidad Tecnológica de Coahuila, but it will be able for all the people who want to participate. I'll show you the editorial team so you can know who are the people who are behind this magazine. The professor Sergio Alberto Guadarrama Cortez, and also myself, Doctora Mayela Andrade, and Licenciada Flor Villalba, and all the editors. I thank you. We have also the contributors of the style, the design, and editing of content. They are the persons who made possible this web page. I invite you with a lot of pleasure to check and review our magazines, our web page, so you can see all the works that have been done by the authors. This is a space for the destiny with ideas, with a space for the different ideas, for the knowledge of the technological and humanistic. Its main purpose is to provide and share content with the public in a simple, engaging, and visual appealing way for the reader. The university is firmly committed to ensuring universal access to knowledge as part of the human right to science, because it is the science that guarantees humanistic and scientific research as well as technological development through actions, spaces, and materials that make progress and diversity available to all Mexicans. All of this is in complete synergy with the framework of our more university model. Welcome to our first number of the magazine of many more. Thank you very much. Next, we give the word to Dr. Jorge Ernesto de la Rosa Garcia, Secretary of Linkage.
Good afternoon. Again, with the permit of here, I'm going to walk through. As the director said in the beginning of this ceremony, we don't want nobody or anybody to be out of our guide work called Más Universidad. And with the spirit of Más Universidad, where we are everybody all the time, I make myself and invite teacher Americo to come to the front. You were an object of view in the morning, and we have one other school students that witness, and it's an honor to me to present you and the link that you have with the magazine in our university and witness all the students be witness of the declaration, the form of honor, knight, hawk of Universidad Tecnológica de Coahuila, and thank you very much. Hawks forever. Applause and cheers. We thank all the people that have made possible this publishing magazine, and we invite all the students to read it and share the future editions. And good afternoon, and may everybody have a good